Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all doing? It is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. It is 8:21 a.m. Eastern, 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time. Welcome to the pregame show. This is your Thanksgiving week edition. So there are less of you out there because so many people took the week off to be with their families. So y'all have to do some heavy lifting for me and hit that like button. We need more compliance. We need more efficacy with that like button. Good morning. Thank you, Night Truck. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Andre, Matthew, Paul, Sam, Josh, Mal, Rachel. Hey, Rachel Rhodes, where are you from? You said hi, y'all. Where are you from? It's 11/22/22. I'm so glad we don't have a month this 22/22/22. I guess we had somewhat in February. Good morning, Michael. How are you? Hey, Anu. Let's go up to chart request. I will officially get started in 8 minutes, but y'all know me, I really get started right now. And I'm going to get started with, of course, I'm going to continue to say hello to my friends as they trickle in. And then I'm going to do a few chart requests. And then in 8 minutes, I'll get officially started with indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. We have some interesting developments right now in crypto. We may even have an arbitrage opportunity. On BITO, it is only up 1% and Bitcoin is up 1.5%, so 1.3. So it's slightly lagging Bitcoin. Bitcoin is popping off of an Adam and Eve bullish reversal pattern. I am not automatically turning bullish crypto. I think this is just going to allow better positioning for bears long term. In the short term, we could get some squeezy action. So I've been watching BITO the last couple of hours. Hi. Let's go back up. Matthew, silver. Silver's popping off. Silver's got a weekly headache. And I think you asked me about this last week, Matthew, and that this is a problem for me. As y'all know from Joey has observed, and I have too, he pointed it out to me first though, that commodities tend to respect the boomer indicators, the 50, the 100, and the 200 simple moving average. A lot of you will message me and say, oh, Lori, I love the 200 EMA or I love the 50 EMA. I don't use the 50 and 200 EMA. I use the simple moving averages. I want to use the indicators that algos are responding to. I don't care what indicators I prefer. I prefer the ones that work. And the ones that work are the ones that have the high volume touches. And those boomer indicators, the simple moving averages on commodities, tend to work even more on commodities than they do stocks. That's just been my observation. Okay, with all of that being said, weekly inside bar, where are we in last week's range? We're right at the 50%. Do you see that, Matthew? So $9.27 is the exact 50% retrace from last week's action. And unless the FOMC minutes elicit some type of crazy volatile reaction, there's a high possibility we could stay inside another week. Does that make sense? So we've retraced 50% of last week's move and we're right smack dab in the middle. And last week's range was large. 12.5% range. So odds favor another inside bar without some major volatile binary event like the FOMC minutes that could spur things. So that was very wordy. Looks like it's going to be one of those days, y'all, where I am wordy. Daily lower high anticipated. This looks very megaphony. Do you see this? We're making higher highs and lower lows without follow through. So careful up here. I'd be a much more comfortable bear up here than I would be a bull shorting against 940. And your support intraday, 898. All right, what's next? Let's go through. Hi. CMI. Yes, I love Cummins International. Fed my family growing up. My dad was a Cummins certified mechanic, and I know I've told you that before when you've asked about this name. Okay, looks like we're still inside last week's range. Yeah, y'all going to get a theme? Are y'all getting a theme? We had a volatile week last week. It was very whippy at the beginning with PPI, and then it established large ranges on names. And now we're just bumping up inside those ranges. So it may take the FOMC minutes to get us out of those ranges tomorrow, or on this low volume week, we have to may have to wait till next week to see clarity. So weekly inside bar. So if we're inside bar on a ton of names, what does that mean? That means we can get misdirection or directional signals that aren't accurate because we're probing liquidity to the upside and to the downside. Resistance 251.37, 251.63, support 244.01, 241.62. Is anyone else struggling with daylight savings? I am ready to go to bed every day at 5 p.m. Daylight savings has just knocked me out, and I guess that does make me a boomer because only boomers complain about such things. But you're giving back a lot of yesterday's, well, you have no pre-market action, so you're just going to want to see the low of yesterday hold. You close near the low of day yesterday. You have your hourly 50 MA overhead. Hi, Basque, Gary, Andre, EE. Daily inside bar. This is such a pretty chart. Have you asked me about this before? This is just a perfect weekly EQ. It has a weekly inside bar. Very mechanical chart. You have resistance up at 28.39. And you have support at 26.99. Looks like you had dividend day yesterday. How big was that? You still closed up. Oh, it was such a tiny dividend, it didn't matter. So TAJINDER, I do not want to kill your name, but we do show our entries, our swing report names, and our track record on our swing report page. So we have two different services. We have our general community where we teach technical analysis, and we have commodities. We have lots of day traders, quick scalpers, and some swing traders. And we have marijuana channel, commodities, crypto. So we have that service, and our other service is a swing report service where people are looking for 3 to 5 day swings or even 2 to 4 6-week swings. So two different services. Okay, but it is not it is our objective every day that we don't come in and tell you about entries that these wonderful trades that we had unless we announce the entry and the thesis with the entry, like what was the trade setup. And we don't go 99% of the time, we don't go back and say, oh my God, I had this amazing trade. If we didn't tell you about it at the beginning, then you're not going to hear about it from us. You're not going to hear about bragging. And you'll hear when we take a loss too. Okay. Hey, KVQ team. Hit that like button. Y'all are doing great on the like button. Okay, what did you want to know about team daily chart? Do I have the cloud on here? I don't. The Kijin saying all those different lagging, I normally take all of those out. No, I leave that one. Yep, and leave that one. I take the lagging ones off. It gets real noisy otherwise. So we are well below the cloud on the daily. If that's what you were asking about, we're well below it on the weekly. And on the monthly, we're hitting the edge of the cloud, which is pretty interesting. I talked to you about leading and lagging indicators yesterday. Ichimoku cloud is one of the few indicators that is a leading indicator. It takes the data. It's an ancient Japanese indicator. I say ancient, I don't know how many hundreds of years or even 100 years old it is, but it is looking forward. It takes past data and it starts making calculations for the future. Some people use it as support and resistance lines. So we're nowhere near the cloud at this point except for on the monthly. So I'll take that off. Looking at it on the daily, it looks very, very sad. 113.86 is your double bottom support with 114.11. Those two levels need to hold. You do have some bullish divergence here where RSI made a higher low and price made a lower low. So that's a little wink to the bulls, but it's nothing more than a wink because they haven't proven a thing. Good morning, Dan Demand. Hey, Lisa, Sebro, you're welcome. Hey, Dynamite. Okay. Oh gosh, it's 6:31. I got to get started. Bennett, I know exactly. we're in the same boat. We're in the same boat. Thank God my husband is very understanding. Okay, let's get started. Welcome to the PreGame show. This is a show. Oh, well, this is who I am, Chart Gal Lori. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. And this show, I normally keep my notes off screen, and I will move them off screen. But these are all the notes that TCG members get when I am done with the show. I show my notes to the public maybe once a week, but I copy and paste those so TCG members can slice and dice them as they see fit. If you want to become a member or check it out, we have our Black Friday sale going on right now. You don't have to wait till Friday. Discount code BLK22. You get the Trade Keeper indicator that I developed along with our programming team. You get a limited edition TCG beanie, member orientation, Q&A, and an annual membership to all things TCG. We haven't raised our rates in over 4 years, and we have done pretty well this year considering it's been a bear market. A lot of rooms have fallen apart after FTX or have fallen apart or down 50% because of the bear market. We fared pretty well. We are pretty straightforward. Not pretty, we are straightforward. TCG Slack community where we post setups every single day, what we see happening out there, and we have a team of 6 or 7 chart guys or chart gals. So if you want to check out this Black Friday special, you can sign up for the webinar, and it's pinned right here in chat. TCG Black Friday sale is live now. So we have a webinar today at 5 p.m. Eastern where Charting Man Dan will go over what's all is included in the membership, what we do, because some people don't know about our Slack chat community. It's similar to Discord, but much more organized. And he's going to show you the indicator. I have a video clip on there where he'll show the indicator and then how to get the discount. So if you're interested on that, click on it. Okay, now that my sales spiel is over, I want to look at the heat map from yesterday. I want to get us, good morning, Succulent Life. How are ya? Hit that like button too. So I want to get started with the heat map. It's super important to determine context. And this is a layer. If I was drawing layers, let me give a chart that I don't draw on a lot. So this is me in my development as a trader. This is how much I know. And then you just keep layering on layers of knowledge and layers of knowledge. When I used to go into hospitals and do quality assurance, quality resource management, I would always say it's like peeling back an onion. And trading's the same way. You peel back one layer of the onion and then another layer and then another layer. So you just keep adding these different elements and layers to your trading experience. And that is something I can't supplement for you. I can to a degree, but it takes hours in the chair or hours at the standing desk of looking at charts and understanding and adding these layers yourself. Risk management should be the first layer that you add. Defining a system, very clearly defined, back-tested system. And then this is where I am in my journey. I mean, I could probably draw this out 100 layers, but I'm making it simple right now for where we are at this time of day. Context is where I am in my journey, and I am using the heat map and finding out where are the sectors as far as relative to the high of day or low of day, and I'm using market internals to ascertain context, and it is changing my trading for the better. So that's something that I try to preach to y'all every day about. You know, you got to be able to read the room. If someone just lost a family member and you don't know that and you run into a room, it's like, hey, let's party. You didn't read the room. And there's sometimes you just can't read a room without data. And that's what market internals are. It's your dashboard. Who's driving the bus? How fast are they driving it? How determined are they to drive it? So all of these quantitative pieces of data go into we synthesize and we come out with a thesis, not a bias, a thesis. So when you see this red and green, beautiful Christmas table, what strikes you? It's balanced. We have Apple, some of our bigger generals red, more red. Tesla was very red, and XLE stood out red, but it was pretty balanced. If you had to get technical, you'd probably say it's 50-50. If you went and counted, I'm sure it's not 50-50, but it looks pretty balanced. What is that going to give you if you go to your chart? I'm on one today, just warning y'all right now, right here and now. What is it going to give you? Where did the day start? Sunday was over here. So this was yesterday's trading day up till here. What did it give you? Chop. Hi. It gives you chop. And when you recognize that early on, if you're a premium seller, you are in heaven. If you're not a premium seller, you recognize this is a day to lay off the gas because the market is not going to be super directional. You have a non-trend day. So what do we see with the heat map? When it's all half red, half green, non-trend day, potential sideways chop. Now it can change on a dime. We can have Poland, Ukraine news enter the market and turn everything red in a heartbeat like a light switch. So I'm not saying that this is be all end all and that it's definitive and it never changes. Definitely is dynamic. Okay, so we have an hourly uptrend now. Let me get rid of that. We have an hourly uptrend on ES. Let me show you the daily weighting. So, yeah, Bitcoin had an hourly potential Adam and Eve pattern that played out bullishly today. So that's helping the market. Who knows? Is the market helping Bitcoin or is Bitcoin helping the market? I don't know. I think they're mutually exclusive at this point, but I'm keeping it on my table. Now, today I have a very skewed weighting, skewed way more toward for the bulls than it is for the bears. So there is tons of subjectivity in this table, even though it has math in it. How I choose to label it, like apples and a 4-hour EQ, I chose not to label either one. The 4-hour trend at the time was super messy. It was slightly uptrend, but I didn't feel like it deserved the check. So it's arbitrary in the weighting assignments, and it's subjective on what time frame I choose to look at and give more weight. So just understand that this is a perfectly flawed, table, just like life, huh? So we are definitely leaning more bull, and I'll go through these individual check marks by going through the charts. So we have an hourly. That word gets harder and harder to say the more shows I do. April will be 2 years of doing the pregame show. That's wild. I'm going to take a water break. So, on the 2-day gives me the most clarity for most of the charts. This is a perfect bull flag. So, ES perfect, potential bull flag unconfirmed. And notice, I want you to peep the RSI on all of these charts. Over 50, just by definition, over 50, I guess I could put a line here. Over 50 means it's relatively strong. RSI, relative strength index. Over 50, it's more bullish. Below 50, it's more bearish. So I want you to peep this RSI line as we flip through these charts, okay? So 2-day potential bull flag. But Nasdaq, we're right at 50, and this still is a potential bull flag here on Nasdaq, even though it's weaker. And RTY, it's more of an EQ. It is given back too much to be considered a bull flag. So that's a note. All right, RTY is a little bit weaker. And YM is up here in la la land. It is so happy. It's like la 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 la. It would be interesting if we got a higher high because that would be a perfect broadening formation. That's something to think about. Let me put a line there so I don't forget that observation. Okay, so the Dow is super strong. Again, your industrials like CMI should do better in the environment where Dow is strong. Dow has been strong. XLI has been strong. I'm going to definitely watch this now. This is interesting. So potential weekly bull flag on YM. So it's got no problems. Now let's go back to ES and look at the 4-hour. Do y'all see the 50 RSI? Do you see how it's just dancing on that? I have to make an assessment of where we are, and I use different data points to push me over to one side or the other on my thesis. And because the RSI continues to hold 50, I am leaning more bullish today. And look at this squeeze, y'all. And who here has heard my holiday speech before in TCG or pregame? So I'm going to give you the holiday speech now. So we have a squeeze brewing, meaning we're going sideways, we're compressing, and we have pressure building. So with the holidays, the B actors are left on the trading floor, or trading desk, if you will, whichever it is. Not a lot of people on the floor these days. But junior traders are more bullish than bearish. When you started off trading, unless you have a very specific personality, typically you start playing bullish. Playing bearish is a lot more daunting because price can go up infinitely and you can have infinite losses if you're shorting commons. You can only have 0 to 100% gains if you're shorting, where if you're going long, you can have infinite gains to the upside. So most of the younger traders that are left here during holiday week are more comfortable trading bullishly. And I learned this from Tracy LeBlanc. He is from Louisiana, but he now lives in the Northeast. And he has been a trader for over, I think, 37 years now. And he taught me this. He used to trade on the floor. That when you have low volume days, now bad news can wreck a low volume day. Your day can get a lot worse on a low volume day if bad news hits. So remember that nuance. And I said context earlier, and I should add the word nuances, because context and nuances, that's what I'm adding to my layer of TA this year. So I'll wrap it up quickly on the holidays, is that we have a more bullish, I have a more bullish stance when we have Thanksgiving week and Christmas week, because the junior traders are left behind and they're more comfortable trading bullishly. Okay, now let's go back to RSI. I'm on fire right now. I don't know why I'm so pumped. I just love what I do. I guess that's it. So look at Nasdaq. Do you see that? Nasdaq RSI. Nasdaq is really ruining the party for ES bulls. It needs to get back up and over 50 and confirm that 2-day bull flag. So it's kind of like all eyes on Apple. It's like she's the prettiest girl in the high school and all the boys are just watching her. We all just need to watch the pretty girl, Apple. She needs to get her butt on the dance floor and up above 152.70. And I just don't know how. Of course it can happen. Anything can happen. But I think that's a tall order. An EQ is the more likely scenario into the FOMC minutes tomorrow. So yes, I am talking out of both sides of my mouth. I'm from Louisiana. I can do that. So ES and YM look strong and bullish. QQQ and Apple are holding back the party. Apple needs to get an early on catalyst. I was pretty savage this morning in my notes too. I was feeling sassy. I was feeling sassy at 3 a.m. Oh yeah, I woke up at 2 a.m. this morning, so I'm extra sassy. Apple needs to bounce early on and pretty hard to get away from last week's low. Last week had a large range and we're stuck inside it. It has to get busy immediately. Like not 2 hours after the open, immediately, because it's going to be all eyes on Apple. We need it to bounce, and we need it to bounce soon, up and over 152.70, and that's going to control a lot of what we see today. Back to Nasdaq. So Nasdaq has an hourly problem. Y'all know what I'm going to say. Great Wall of Louisiana, the hourly 50 MA is a problem. It is a major problem for Nasdaq. And it's overhead on Apple as well. If you look at ES, we're holding it. The hourly 50 MA is below. RTY, it's below. YM, well below. Nasdaq is the fly in the ointment today, and we need it to get its act together, get over 11,700. Your key support now 11,565. Yep, Chris, and it had bad news that week, so that's the nuance. And if y'all are looking for absolutes and you're a very technical person and you must have absolutes, trading is going to be a hard adventure for you. Very difficult. This is definitely more of an art than science. There are definitely technical parts that we could put to the puzzle, and then there's a component that's more artistic and subjective that you have to accept, and you have to accept early on. There are no absolutes, and that's the only absolute in trading, is there are no absolutes. That's it. You have to accept it. Okay, RTY. There you go. Generally and usually. We have to be politicians, you know. So we got an hourly higher high. We're pulling back a little bit. It wasn't convincing. 1857.90 is your next resistance, and your support 1843. YM. Looking beautiful. Look at those EMAs. Do y'all see them separating right there? Lifting to the north side. We got to clear 33,900 and then 34,000 psychological. Your support 33730. VIX broke the bear flag this morning. It had a 2-hour bear flag here. 34,000 psychological. Your support 33730. VIX broke the bear flag this morning. It had a 2-hour bear flag here. 34,000 psychological. Your support 33730. VIX broke the bear flag this morning. It had a 2-hour bear flag here. 34,000 psychological. Your support 33730. VIX broke the bear flag this morning. It had a 2-hour bear flag here. 34,000 psychological. Your support 33730. VIX broke the bear flag this morning. It had a 2-hour bear flag here. 34,000 psychological. Your support 33730. VIX broke the bear flag this morning. It had a 2-hour bear flag here. 34,000 psychological. Your support 33730. VIX broke the bear flag this morning. It had a 2-hour bear flag here. 34,000 psychological. Your support 33730. VIX broke the bear flag this morning. It had a 2-hour bear flag here. 34,000 psychologi and we broke the bear flag to the downside. So fear is just slowly leaving the market, exiting stage right. US 10-year, guess what kind of problem it's having? Hourly 50 MA overhead. We need that to stay the case for market bulls today. You want to see the hourly 50 MA hold overhead. Hang Seng was down 1.31%. DAX is slightly green, not very convincing. Bitcoin had this Adam and Eve reversal pattern confirmed to the upside, and it ran into... Do y'all get tired of me saying it? I kind of get tired of hearing me say it, but hourly 50 MA, Great Wall of Louisiana, right there, rejecting price. We need to get over 16257. Once we could get over a couple of key levels and then 16280, you can really apply some pressure to the bears. Right now, the bears have been comfortable since Jesus was a baby, forever. How long have they been comfortable? Since last year. So for the past year, they've been super comfortable riding this wave down. You got to apply pressure, and the bulls have not applied enough pressure, in my opinion, to get the real fear of God in the bears, but they're on their way. Ethereum. Okay. Ethereum is weaker than Bitcoin. It cannot get over that 1120.96, and guess what's overhead? The Great Wall of Louisiana support, 1073.42, is definitely weaker than Bitcoin. Gold. Gold, I'm having a problem with gold. Let me talk about, let's go to therapy on my problem with gold. We are looking for a daily higher low. We have plenty of room for it. But this 4 hour, what were you thinking, bulls? Why did you give this retrace so much space to the downside? It's like, come on. So if you're an aggressive, and I mean aggressive if you're out there systemic, that's not what I want to do. You may, why is it jumping? You may look for a 4 hour higher low compared to 1733.90, aiming to nail the daily higher low. But it's only for the aggressive bull because the bulls haven't proven a lot. On the hourly, they're up here fighting and playing kabaddi with this hourly 50 MA. They have enough room for hourly higher low. I'd want to see a little more consolidation closer to 1733 to try a bottom fish. All right. Homebody. Oh, you're cute. Okay, so on oil. Oil's got a little zippity-doo-dah day this morning. 82.19 resistance, 82.43 resistance. We had that news that came out that was bearish, saying that Saudi had ramped up production. And then Saudi came out and said, nope, that's not the case. And then rewind. I wish I could make that rewind sound. And now we're in an hourly uptrend. Your support's 79.96 and 79.85. I don't see a trade for me today on oil, but nat gas, I see a trade. An hourly lower high or 4 hour lower high. Do you see how far we've pulled back? Now on this bounce, bears will be looking to top fish the loss of a 5-minute trend. We may be getting it right here. Ooh, doggy. On the loss of 6587. We'll see. This could be a short attempt right here. Apple, we've already read it, the riot act. It needs to get up and over 149.03. Let me delete all this and show y'all something else. Again, I've been up for a very long time and I've performed a billion types of analysis on these charts this morning. So I'm sorry I did that quick. Let me show you what I did. If you mark the high of last week to the low of last week on Apple and you zoom in, because again, I'm telling you, she's the most popular girl in school. I got to stay focused on her. Below the 0.382. So we have retraced approximately 70% of last week's move. Now, how am I going to get bullish on this? It has to take out the high of yesterday, 150.37. That's a tall order. What is the more likely scenario for this? Inside bar. So this chart makes me think inside bar day. Now, the market itself, ES, is giving me bull vibes, and it may be able to overcome Apple. If everybody else can pull the cart and just say, forget you, Apple, I'm tired of having to deal with you and Tesla, then maybe things can get going. But we have done a significant retrace of yesterday's last week's move, which gives me inside bar moves for today and inside bar moves for the week possibly, which makes sense on low volume. Amazon, nice bounce. What are the odds that we get over 95.02? If the market keeps bouncing like this, it'll increase those odds, but that's a tough order, asking it to go up another 2% to take out the high of yesterday when we're already up 0.69. But it could happen. Hey, Danda, you used emojis and that stupid Nightbot gets temperamental, but thank you for your message. I can see it and I appreciate it. So Amazon, nice bounce this morning. So that kind of leaves you to buy the pullback, basically. Nvidia, super tight. Y'all see that squeeze? This is total snake, Instapot. How many of y'all have already started cooking for Thanksgiving? I need to figure out how to do a poll. Oh, I see it now. Let's see, I've never done this. God, nobody needs to give me a toy. I've never done that. Okay, and now I'm going to have to ask, next poll will be, have you taken advantage of our Black Friday special? Okay, let me go back. Nvidia is super tight. So what needs to happen today is we need SMH, and I'm just going to be real simple because I'm a simple girl. SMH and Apple need to kickstart the party and hard as soon as we open. And if SMH and Apple are running, don't fight the market, okay? SMH and Apple. And Nvidia is positioned well to party with Apple today, looking for that daily higher low. Tesla, I think I was pretty savage on my Tesla comments. Let's see. Again, sassy. RSI bull divergence on the daily. Overly zealous bulls hoping for a daily falling wedge, but bulls have proven nothing. And I think I saw Tesla had another recall. So Elon's not mentioning Tesla. He's only mentioning Twitter. So I just think that the stockholders are just a little shaky down here. But overzealous bulls are hoping for a potential daily falling wedge. And I say overzealous because what's a falling wedge? It's a series of lower highs and lower lows. That doesn't mean, that's not bullish. And it's been getting those lower lows with oomph. So that's why I said overzealous, because that's me being generous with these trend lines. All right, so we are oversold on the daily. And then here is my hopium I'll deal you Tesla bull lovers, is that we have a lower low on price and a higher low on RSI. So we do have RSI bull divergence on the daily on Tesla. BBY, oh no, Danda, you're fine. The Nightbot needs to apologize to you. BBY had a beat and they raised guidance and they're butting their head up against 77.50. I think this is a scalper's dream today. Look for tightening ranges to trade. I think it should have some decent volatility. JPM, we're holding that 50 RSI and we're squeezing, and this is a potential weekly bull flag. Look at that pretty flag. You could print that for mom's fridge. Beautiful. I like the buy right here on the hourly 50 MA for JPM. MSTR, this is a busted idea. It worked yesterday, but this morning crypto was weak when I was looking at it, but that was hours ago. So don't want to short any type of crypto name this morning for me. When has a potential 4-hour bear flag right here, and with China lockdowns continuing, this is a potential top fish setup on market weakness. Top fishing 74.61, and because it's a bear flag, I would even give it to 75 for a potential short. Look at the hourly 50 MA. You see how it's frowning on price? I know it's silly, but do whatever you got to do to get these visual cues. Look at this, there's a frown. So 4-hour potential bear flag on when potential short. And XOM is busted because oil is so strong. I was looking for a top fish, aiming for a 4-hour lower high, and you could still look for it against 113.34, but we need oil to chill out a little bit for that to work. All right. Frozen pizza doesn't take that long to cook. Aw. That's what you're having for Thanksgiving? Hey, Davey, you're welcome. You know what, y'all? It's 6:56. I'm just going to wrap it up and go listen to Dan. I appreciate y'all being here so very much. And don't forget about that Black Friday sale and the webinar today at 5 p.m. Any chance you get to listen to Charting Man Dan, and this is not blowing smoke. I don't blow smoke. Y'all know me. But any chance you get to listen to Charting Man Dan speak about anything technical or slightly technical, take that opportunity. He's a GOAT. So check it out. Check out the webinar today at 5 p.m. No pressure. He's the worst salesman on earth because he hates selling. So don't worry about feeling any pressure. You'll just enjoy spending time with the GOAT. All right. Thank y'all for being here. Hit the like button and use stop losses.